What if it's too late to apologize?
Too late to apologize. You're just trying to bait me to sing. Quit that. Hey guys, welcome to Christian and Tiffany. And we believe that relationships matter. And we are right now in the process of talking through conflict in marriage. So we've done one video titled Conflict in Marriage, talking about conflict is normal and it's a natural part of relationships and you gotta work it out. Yeah. And number 2, you're caressing my foot. That's distracting. Our second video that we did was how to fight fair. 5 tips for fighting fair. How do you do it well? How do you do it so that it's productive and in the end
there's resolution?
There's resolution. Okay, and so this video is about 5 tips for making up after a fight.
Allow me some makeup.
Because you go through all that work and all the effort and all the struggle of processing through your conflict and working it out and coming to a resolution, and then what? Well, you gotta reward yourselves.
Well, no, you don't want just an emotional release, you want a physical release.
Or both. We've been having a lot of conversations
Together.
about emotional and physical needs in a marriage.
Yes, we have.
Got some conversations about that coming up. But anyway, so here we go. Here are 5 tips for making up after a fight. Okay, tip number 1.
Well, I have to get around the camera so I can see it.
You told me to put the list back there.
Well, you did a great job.
Okay.
It's just, hang on. Okay, so number 1, clear your conscience.
Conscience. Clear your conscience. So make sure, you know what that even is?
Clearing your conscience?
So like, you want to talk about what step 1 is?
Clear your conscience? Yeah, clear it. I have no idea.
What I meant
My
when I
conscience is
chose
always
clear
clean.
your conscience as tip number 1 is make sure that you get it all off your chest. So you're making up and then you got to be like, oh, I'm so glad we worked through that because that was really bothering me. And I just want to say that I'm so sorry that I misunderstood you. I'm so sorry that I overreacted. Clear your conscience. Make sure that you've apologized and you've said what needs to be said so that you can move forward, that there's not still unfinished business.
What if it's too late to apologize?
Too late to apologize. You're just trying to bait me to sing. Quit that. It's never too late to apologize. Okay, step 2. Tip 2.
Yeah. Step 2, show appreciation.
Yeah, so
Continue on. I'm liking this. Let's roll. I just want to get to step 3. Come on.
this is the kid that doesn't study for a test. Terrible, babe. This one was your idea. Show gratitude. It's like this. Babe.
Wait, you said show appreciation, so you meant gratitude.
Well, it's the same thing. Babe, I so appreciate...
I appreciate you.
I feel like we're going to have to edit so much out of this video. Listen.
Or we don't. We just let it roll.
Okay. Baby, I really appreciate you taking the time to work this out with me. I know you didn't really see my perspective from the beginning, but like, thank you just for sitting down and letting me process out loud.
Honey, you're welcome. I love you.
Aww. See? That's step 2. You gotta show appreciation. Thank them for taking the time for working it out.
Yep, I agree.
Tip 3.
That's right. Tip 3.
Drum roll.
Draw close and get you some cuddle time.
Draw close.
Cuddle time. Cuddle time.
Yeah.
That's my favorite, is cuddle time.
Cuddle time.
So what do you mean by cuddle time? I know what I mean by cuddle time.
Well, it could be something as simple as just a hug. Because a lot of times when you're mad, you're like, you just want to push people away.
Yeah.
And so after you work through conflict and talk through all that stuff, it's really important that instead of pushing them away, that you pull them close. So
Hallelujah.
It's a hug, it's a kiss,
Girl talk.
it's whatever might lead on from there. What do you mean girl talk?
Babies. Babies usually lead. Yeah, after kissing. You know, that's what kissing was designed for, is babies.
Another video, another topic. So draw close. Make sure, even if it's as simple as a hug, making that physical connection and pulling each other close is just, it's going to seal the relationship and the effort and the work that you just put into growing through your battles.
Yeah. And I mean, in all reality too, I mean, on a kind of serious note, there is a spiritual, physical, emotional implementation for conflict resolution, and there's that kind of spiritual reconnection, emotional reconnection, physical reconnection that really seals that gap or that crack that we talked about in the last video, and it just binds it back together and makes it strong again. Mm-hmm. And I think if you leave one of those steps out, you still have a crack there, and that's always an opportunity to see things get worse in the future, or to be reminded of it. Once it's kind of sealed completely, then it's out of sight, out of mind. It's not in your heart anymore, and I think it just helps build a stronger relationship.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, one of the most powerful things that you can do as a couple is to pray together, especially after a conflict, after you work through things. And so it could just be a matter of like holding hands or whatever, and just thanking God that you have each other, and asking the Lord to help you work through conflicts again in the future, and all those things.
Yeah, no, that's good. Step 4, walk it out.
Walk it out. So you just had a conflict. Maybe you used our discussion guide and you worked through all of your issues. At the end of that discussion guide, it has a place for you to write down, what is the resolution of this? So maybe I'm upset because he's not giving me as much affection as I feel like I need, and so I don't feel secure in our relationship. So then I say, hey babe, I just need you to kiss me every day, at least one time, and tell me you love me every day. That's all I'm asking of you. Just kiss me and say you love me every day. Making an effort to do that, make that connection with me, and that would just really mean a lot to me. And
I might just be like, hey, I just want the dishes done.
Right. So whatever it is, whatever the resolution is from your conflict, whatever you've agreed and decided on is the fix for that particular disagreement, you got to walk it out together. You each have to have an assignment, something that you take away that say, I'm taking responsibility to make our relationship better and to prevent this conflict from happening again, and this is my part to play, and this is your part to play. We agree on it, and we walk it out. Make changes, grow, compromise.
Absolutely. And 5th, leading into that, is check in. So you really want to check in with each other, see how it's going. Because you have these expectations that you're going to have from this conversation. Sometimes they're verbalized, sometimes they're not, and that's when you get in trouble. Is when those expectations that you had didn't quite get verbalized, but you might have felt like you verbalized them, but you didn't really. I'm just speaking to myself right now, and so it's important to check in and say, hey, and it's not a blame game. It's not like you're not doing this and you're not doing that, but it's like these were my expectations, and really beginning to talk through that, right? And setting that time aside together where you can talk through that.
Schedule it, like literally schedule it every date night, or every Tuesday we're going to sit down and have a cup of coffee in the morning, or whatever it is, and say, how am I doing?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's another great opportunity to open up and just say, is there anything that I am doing that maybe I'm not meeting some expectations for you, or something that I could do better? And these are just ways to continue to grow that relationship. And it works in marriage, it works in friendship, it works with your kids.
All of these tips work with any kind of relationship.
Yeah, whether
except
it's
for
work or whatever.
The extensive cuddle time may not be appropriate in all relationships.
No, that's not appropriate.
Yeah.
It's not appropriate. I almost made a political joke. I stopped myself.
Oh, I'm glad you did. Good job.
I did.
Good job. So there you have it, guys. 5 tips for making up after a fight. We hope that this helped you, and if you would like, go ahead and subscribe, like our video, comment below if you have any thoughts, ideas, or anything you want to add to what we've said.
Yeah, we're always looking for better and more tips. Anything you got for us, throw it out there. We'd love to engage with you. We respond to every one of our comments and posts.
And if you have anything specific you'd like us to hear, like us to talk more about, you'd like to hear more about, like, talk more about this.
Tell me more about this.
What is that?
I was covering my mouth. No, you remember that Ghostbusters where he was like, they're like, close your ears, and he's like,
Anywho.
real life with me.